Welcome to Overtime the Podcast, a show dedicated to all things watches, with a special love for Microbrands and their affordable range. I'm your host Praka, and some of you might know me as Kinda Average Watches. Join me as we explore new releases, share tips on building your collection, and put in some overtime with hands-on reviews of the latest watches. Whether you're a bit of a pro or you're just getting into the hobby, this podcast will keep you entertained with great stories from the people in the industry, casual conversations, and guest hosts who bring their own unique perspectives. Let's get started. Good day, listeners. Thanks for tuning in to Overtime the Podcast, proudly sponsored by WatchPoint. Today I'm joined by Ahmed, aka the WatchCollectiveTwo, or one part of WatchCollectiveTwo, from Instagram and YouTube. So Ahmed is a content creating genius, podcaster, a watch collector, and just an all-round gentleman. So Ahmed, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, Praka, thank you so much for the kind words. I don't know if you know this, but I blush pretty easily. So, I'm blushing right now for those who are listening to us and not seeing me. But yeah, thank you so much for the invite. I've been looking forward to be part of your show, which I'm following pretty consistently. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine. Yeah, Ahmed's a very busy man in between making his content on his reels are absolute genius. Reels, photos are fantastic. And then he also runs a video podcast and he's got a day job and family. And yeah, there's a lot going on there. So yeah, well, thank you so much for taking your time to come on today. So before we kick off into the episode real quick, obviously we always do a customary wrist check. So what have you got on your wrist?
Yeah, I got the Mechanical Exploration, the last collab on my wrist,
Nice.
which I find it, yeah, I find it pretty exciting and a strange piece. I like strange pieces. What's
Yeah.
on your wrist?
My wrist. I have a Microbrand today, so I've got the second hour Mandala Mark III on my wrist. This is a new one in the collection, the mint dial. Yeah, it's my first mint colored dial as well, so I'm very excited to have this. I will go into this a bit further in following episodes, or depending on when this episode gets released, I may already have discussed about it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it today. It's good.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice brand, and the mint color is one of my favorite, to be honest. So good
Yeah.
choice.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Wrist checks out of the way. Let's just get straight into it. Look, we've chatted before. We've connected through Instagram, which is a big platform for watch collectors, I feel nowadays, or at least been for a couple of years. But for those who don't know, before we get into the more deeper questions, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, how did you start making content, like all these reels and photographs and video podcasting, and also, I guess, not just for any watches, but you have this particular focus on micro brands and independent watches.
Yeah, it is a long story, a little bit interesting story, to be honest. But let me start with a quick background.
Yeah.
So I am originally an engineer, right? I'm a robotics engineer. I never worked as an engineer. I've always been in marketing. I have a job which is from 7 to 7. Married, as you mentioned, 10 years now to my partner, who's the number two of the Watch Collective too. And we never planned to be content creators whatsoever. So it all came by coincidence, pure coincidence. So around 8 years ago, we started collecting watches, not that long. So 2 years after we got married. And that was the time in which we made a little bit of money to buy watches, not even expensive watches. I'm talking about watches in general because at some point in time, depends where you live. So I used to live in Egypt, which is my home country. Seiko is a luxury. It's not easy to get a Seiko.
Mm.
Now, if you move to another country, I mean, things which are considered to be luxury is more affordable. But what happened that we were collecting, me and her. Lucky enough, we have the same wrist size, so she never blames me for buying a watch, you know. So it's good to be married to another junkie, which I love it. And we started pretty much collecting all over the place. I used to love Tudor, for example, so I had a huge collection of Tudor. She liked Cartier, so she had a collection of Cartier as well. And then collecting wise, I felt like the conventional brands were pretty much boring, you know. And that's where we moved to Microbrands, fine, in which things were bold, they do whatever they want. We weren't really collecting Microbrands. I was more of a two-door guy. I used to have a six-piece kind of two-door collection plus the rest of the watches. My wife Monda was pretty much into Cartier, so she had a couple of pieces of Cartier. And then we discovered that it's a little bit boring, to like keep only collecting these big brands for two reasons. One, it was boring. The second thing, that the micro brands as well, it satisfies an urge, right? I mean, whenever you want to buy a watch, you can spend $500,
Mm.
but you're not gonna be spending $5,000. So it's not boring and it satisfies the urge. And one day she told me, okay, let's do a page on Instagram, showcase the collection, which was not a huge collection, but it wasn't small as well. It was around 60 pieces or
Oh,
something, you
yeah.
know. Not all high-end brands, a lot of them were micros.
Mm.
And we started a page. I told it by that time, I told it actually, like, I mean, it's not a good idea. It's the one thing social media that everyone is trying to be an influencer and content creator, and you have
Sure.
people like having a full collection of MBNFs and Urwex and all of these things. These people,
Yeah.
they can be, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then she told me, let's do it, and we did it, right?
Sure.
And one day I just received a watch. I'll show it to you. I'll send it to you. It's
Sure.
called Angles Chain of Time. All right.
Yeah.
I shot a video with the phone, and then the video over 1 week got 1.9 million. You know,
Wow.
it went viral. Like
Yeah.
everyone who's searching watches on the social media was seeing it. To the limit that the company themselves, they reached out to me and they bought the whole video. And then followers kept coming in, and I don't have content. I cannot shoot, do videography. I cannot do photography. So I had to learn, bit by bit. So I started learning how to shoot with an iPhone, and then I borrowed actually a Canon 600D to shoot with it, and then I bought a full studio. So yeah, this is how it started, and then it evolved.
Yeah, that's incredible. That I was just while you was talking about that watch, I just pulled it up and it's very cool, very different, very like you said, out
Yes.
there, the Angles Chain of Time. And I still haven't seen the video, so I'm going to need you to send that to me, and I will make sure I include it in the show notes so the listeners can check it out as well. So that's cool. That's not something that how do you say it? Doesn't happen to everyone, but you guys stuck to it, and obviously you wanted to do something, wanted to get into it, and you did, and yeah, look at that, and it's showing now. Look at your quality of the content that's coming out right now, and obviously, listeners, we will be linking to Watch Collective too, and you got to check out the reels, you got to check out the YouTube channel, of course, the video podcasting, and yeah, the level of the quality is a step up from a lot of the other stuff that you see, a lot of the other noise that you see in whether it be in Instagram or YouTube. So yeah, definitely, yeah, it's props to you guys, props to you both. So well done there.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I'm flattered, man.
No, it's I'm not trying to blow smoke. I'm just saying it's good stuff. So yeah, look, I'll you obviously mentioned your background, where you came from, your hometown, Egypt, and now you're in Dubai, and that's where you reside. And I'm always very interested in the Dubai and the Middle East, I guess the wider Middle East watch scene, because from the perception from at least from Australia or from us is that there's all these luxury watches and there's all this luxury products, and there's a lot of opulence and a lot of
Mhm.
is that everywhere, and that's the perception that we get. But how do the niche of microbrands fare in within all of this, really, you know, luxury, ultra luxury stuff? Like, how have you seen it? Obviously, you're interested in it, and from what I've seen, there are a lot of other people interested in it locally as well. But how has it been for you in this market, and do you see this growing?
Yeah, so that's a pretty good question. But if we take a look at the watch collecting in general scene, without going before going into the micro brand scene, so the Middle East in general and UAE, Qatar, Saudi, Kuwait, Bahrain, it's on the top of the list. So it
Mm,
is like collectively a big region in terms of collecting because the power of buyer is high if we analyzed it
sure,
economically, right?
sure.
So you would see a lot of people having huge and crazy heavy collections.
Mm,
And the same happens, right? So
mm,
these people are always looking for something new.
mm,
And I think that the micro brands in the Middle East, it fills this gap. So you would see the micro brands growing at a very, very, very high rate. Not micros only, in indies as well. You would see a
indies,
lot
yeah,
of indies
sure.
as well. Yes.
Mm,
So it all comes to the power of buyer, number one.
mm,
Second thing, UAE I mean specifically, it is the hub for the Middle East. So you would see you have all the major events like Dubai Watch Week is here.
mm,
You have all the small brand events. It happens here. So you would
mm,
see every now and then one brand coming, showcasing watches, people meeting them.
mm,
So it is growing, and I think a lot of interest is happening. Even a lot of micro brands are coming from the Middle East now. So
mm,
you would see a lot of established, most of them are Dubai based, but a lot of brands as well coming from here. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's as interesting as the US, which is on top of everybody's list,
mm,
China, uh, and UAE is a hub, as
mm.
Singapore, as a lot of other places, you know.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I mean, when I always recall like seeing a lot of these collaborations from microbrands with watch shops in watch boutiques in Dubai. I can't remember
Yes.
off the top of my head right now their name, but it escapes me. But there'll be a Baltic with
Yeah,
you said
Perpetual. It's with
Perpetual.
Perpetual.
That's it,
Yes.
Perpetual. You've got they do some really cool collaborations. I love seeing all their stuff, and I think I have previously in the podcast we have spoken about some of those Perpetual releases. They're just really cool stuff. So I'm glad to see that it's not just a once off. It's actually ingrained or getting more ingrained into the watch scene there.
And you gave a great example, which is a proof of what I was just telling you.
Mm,
So Perpetual is a boutique, which is like
mm,
for micros and indies.
okay.
And they are one of the few brands that are known globally from the Middle East who are doing collabs. So their collabs are known everywhere. Studio
Mm,
Underdog was a big hit. Baltic, they've done multiple collabs as well. I
mm,
love their collabs.
mm,
But the thing is that if you stepped into this boutique, you're gonna find that they have from these brands
mm.
to Singer, Crayon, like a very, very expensive brands, which
Independent.
which pretty
Yeah.
much resonates with what I'm telling you. The targeted customer is one now. The people who are buying quarter a million dirhams or hundred
Mm,
thousand USD piece, they are actually interested in a Studio Underdog Arabic numerals kind of piece as well, you know?
mm, mm. That's smart. I mean, it's you gotta you know that yeah, and that kind of validates for me in my head the Moza and Studio Underdog collaboration for me. I have initially when that came out, I remember being like, I don't understand it. I really don't get why would they collaborate with Moza or the other way around, why Moza collaborates with Underdog. But it makes sense. Like you have this market, and I'm sure there's many Mozas around in Dubai, and the same person who's going to get the Moza would also be the same person that probably goes, oh yeah, I'll pick up the Studio Underdog right next to it.
Yeah. So it is I have my own thoughts on this. I
Sure,
know it's a
sure.
deviated topic from our conversation,
Yeah.
but funny enough, the first time that Rich from
Yes.
Studio Underdog mentioned that he's gonna be doing a collab with a legit big watch brand was on my podcast.
There you
And the
go.
day they and the day they announced it, I put the reel. It wasn't planned. I kept editing the reel because I wanted to do it at the same day.
Sure.
The thing is that at this point in time, he didn't tell me, to be honest, what kind of brand, which I really respect and appreciate. But I
Sure,
knew that he was gonna do with one brand.
sure.
But my thoughts and my hopes were to have some kind of a piece in the middle
Mm,
world, you know. So
yep,
I was expecting an Omega Swatch kind of collaboration, you
yeah,
know.
yep,
As to the underdog with a twist of Moser, instead of it being 700 euros, I'm fine with paying 2,500 euros,
correct.
triple the price.
Yep.
But it didn't happen this way. I found it a little bit disconnected from the
Mm,
audience of Studio Underdog,
yep.
and it's contradicting with the essence of the brand. Like,
Mm,
I mean, the brand is called Studio Underdog, for God's
yeah,
sake,
yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah,
love the brand. Rich is a genius, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I never understood much the collaboration. At the same time, the new Fears collaboration, it ticking all the boxes
I
that we're
agree.
talking about right now. I
I
mean, I
agree.
think it was. I'm not fan. I'm not much fan of the watch, to be
Mm,
honest. But it's done right.
yeah. No, I agree. And that's a that's sort of that entry-ish level micro brand, and then that middle range micro brand. You got 4,000 £5,000 with your fears, right? Your fears Brunswicks, or at least your collaboration or your topper release Brunswicks, that we're just slightly more expensive, and then you've got this which
Yes.
is in the middle. And yeah, it hits the sweet spot. I agree. And it also still feels like that within range, or at least it's a stretch target for the audience, as opposed to an impossible target. But yeah, I mean, it's always interesting to see. But I'm glad that at least the perpetual collaborations aren't crazy expensive with
Yeah.
the micro brands. They seem to be a little bit more, but not way, way high.
I want to tell you, it's like so Perpetual. They have done two collabs with Studio Underdog, for example. You know, the
Mm,
series one was four colors, 50 pieces each,
mm,
and the second one, series two, it was 50 pieces, four colors as well. All
mm,
sells out in matter of hours. For
mm.
200 pieces sells in matter of hours. Because as well, the culture here, we are really proud of like Arabic numerals
Yes.
and all the Middle Eastern kind of signature.
That's awesome to see. And yeah, I think even like worldwide, even people that don't quite have that connection there, I think they just like something a bit more different, something a bit more unique. So awesome. Well, good to hear. Good to hear that that scene there is active as it is anywhere else in the world. Okay, we've talked about micro brands, we've mentioned it, and we talked about indies. So why do you specialize in microbrands? Of course, you said you wanted to try different things, but what is it about microbrands that you love, and also what is it about microbrands that you don't quite like, or you can say hate if you want, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I can get into this, and we can split it into micros and indies as well.
sure,
But
let's
first,
do
let
that.
me let me tell you that I am in terms of content creation, I am pretty much trying to be specialized in micro brands and focus only on micros and indies. Even the non-indie kind of watches that we have, we never put like the
Sure,
the old collection of ours, we never put it because we want like to target only micro brands. We want to target as affordable, good pieces as possible. We want to cover bigger range of audience because if you surfed Instagram, you're gonna find everybody sharing Jacob and Co's and expensive pieces, perpetual calendars and minute repeaters. But to see someone who's only focusing, especially in this region, on micro brands, it was not much of a thing. And this brings us to us loving micro brands. So I see micro brands, they have a lot of good aspects. All right. The first one is they are extremely bold. They can do whatever they want. The micro brand or a brand owner, he can wake up one day and I want to do a wandering hour. I want to do anything.
mm,
It's not like the big corporate brands who have hierarchies and they would take a decision through five people signing off, and then they have to same DNA of the brand and all of this. So
yeah,
this
yeah,
is number one,
mm,
and a lot of examples like this. I mean, check for example Radcliffe, check Studio Underdog, check these brands. They are crazy, right? They have
mm,
done crazy stuff. So this is number one. Actually, number two is gonna be that since we all the collectors are really fascinated by stories, right?
Mm,
But the thing about indies and micros when it comes to this, that the stories are actually real. It's not a made up story because the big brands usually tend to make big stories which are not really strong or not really genuine, I'll be honest with you.
mm,
Also, being connected and in touch with the person himself. So you sometimes you buy a piece because you like the person behind it, not because the piece is extravagant or your
sure.
choice.
Yep.
So that's another thing, and you're gonna find it in the micros and the indies. You're gonna if you wanna get in touch with Max Booser, for example, he's gonna reply your message in a matter of 5, 6 minutes, and he's pretty one of the biggest guys in the
Mm,
watch industry. And you can do this with pretty much all the brands,
yeah.
you know. These are the main things that I like about microbrands. I think microbrands, they're doing something innovative, they're doing something new, they are bold, and
Mm,
actually the people behind it are pretty much genuine along with their stories.
yep.
But on the other side, it's a love-hate relationship, right? So on the other side, my main issue with microbrands that some brands they treat it as a cash grab. So let's do a Kickstarter campaign. Let's do a render. Let's grab some cash, and then they trade off on the quality. So the quality would not be up to the standard, which very much disappointing. But on the other side, even the brands that are known for good quality, sometimes their pieces in terms of quality are almost good enough. You see, sometimes you get a crazy piece, amazing micro brand piece, a piece that you're in love, you know.
Yeah.
But you would find that anti-reflection, for example. I'm giving you an example of anti-reflection because
Sure.
it's the most common in terms of saving money.
Yeah.
But you would look at the anti-reflection and it is lowering the standard of the whole piece.
Yeah.
And that's because the one who's doing this kind of design or doing this kind of costing for the project is just saving $6 or $10 on
Per
the piece.
unit.
I
Yeah.
don't mind paying exactly. So this is my main issue that sometimes the brands doing watches are almost good, you know.
Yeah.
And this is why the watches actually in the micro brand world that are like ticking all the boxes, they are standing out big time, you know,
Mm.
big time.
I agree. I agree. I want to reflect on, what you don't like about indies because we just spoke about that, and I tend to agree with that. There's many times where I've owned a couple of micro brands over the years, and it's almost there. It's almost perfect. For me,
It's
anti-reflective
annoying.
clothing, yeah, it is very annoying. Anti-reflective clothing is one of those things. I it annoys me when brands don't do drilled lugs for dive watches or for why? Well, just put it in. It saves people messing around with, watch tools and stuff, and put it into the case design. I think it'd be fantastic. Clasps is one of those things. I mean, almost every brand is using micro adjust these days at the micro brand level. Just put it in, and like you said, we're happy to pay $50 more or whatever it is to accommodate these
Yes.
things that's just going to make that watch just that little bit better. Like, and it could be make or break. You could look at that watch and you go, I really like that, but I'm not going to get that because this other watch has everything I want. So, especially at this price range, like I feel like I think I spoke to someone about this, the same thing last week. We in this space, in this micro brand affordable range, very critical of a lot of things. We expect perfection in many ways compared to higher price brackets where people, maybe as bit more forgiving. But I
Yeah.
don't know. That's my observation. I don't know if you feel the same.
I totally agree with you, and I sense from your tone even that you feel the pain. You feel the same that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But maybe the one more thing, but it's pretty much with the indies, like, and we can talk later on how do you split or categorize a brand from indie to
Yeah.
micro brand? It's a pretty
I don't know
common
if
question that I
I don't know
get,
if
you
we're
know?
gonna solve that today. That's like a ongoing battle, but yes.
Yeah, it is. It is eternal battle. But what I like about, let's say, the independence on the higher price point of the
Mm,
spectrum, the respect, actually. I mean,
mm,
if you can afford a watch, you're gonna go and buy a watch. It's not gonna be a wait list. It's not gonna be much of. It's not gonna be struggle like what happens with Rolex or other brands, you know. But
yep.
at the same time, if you're not getting a piece, it's because there is an actual reason, production capacity, all of these things, you know. So I really like how intimate the relationship between even the customer and the watchmaker or the company. They know exactly how many pieces do you have. They know that you're not a flipper. They know exactly
Yep.
what's happening and they know where their pieces are going. I mean,
Mm.
most of the time, let's be honest. But yeah, I mean, the micro indie world, it's pretty enjoyable more than the other brands, you know.
I've muted myself, so let me
Yeah.
start that again. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I haven't dabbled in that sort of range there, but what I have recently noticed as well, which, like you said, these independent people that you can just go and contact and they're so open and say, yeah, no, this is what we do. These are the things. Here's what you're getting. There was a quite recently, there is a young kid out of Korea, South Korea, who's now based in the US, and he's doing some incredible stuff. I can't remember his
Yes.
brand off the top of my head. And a listener of the show has ordered a watch from him actually, and I'm really excited to receive it. And just having that sort of, like you said, that intimate connection with the brand, the owner, and to being like, this is my labor, this is the fruits of my labor, and these are, especially at the independent level where that it is all almost handmade, or so much of it is their labor that goes into it, and then they're giving their piece of art to you. It's a stronger connection to that piece, and also you know where your money is going as well. There's a bit more openness to it.
Funny enough, Praka, that a lot of the watchmakers that you see in the independent side of the business, they
Yes.
are not making good living at all. Most of them are struggling. So
Yeah.
I know people that are extremely struggling because they invested most of their liquidity, cash savings into development of something. They truly believe in what they're doing, actually.
Mm.
So if somebody invested all of these things for a prototype of a movement and then a prototype of a watch and it didn't fly and didn't succeed, they're gonna suffer, you know. So
Yeah.
again, all of these human aspects, non-corporate aspects, it adds a lot of value to it.
Yeah.
It adds a lot of value to whatever purchase you're gonna be making, whatever journey to make a decision, even collecting data and understanding the background stories, and so it is enjoyable.
If you're into microbrand and independent watches, which you clearly are as you're listening to this podcast, you got to check out WatchPoint. WatchPoint is the newest destination in Melbourne, Australia for microbrand and independent watches. But it's more than just a brick and mortar store, it's a hub for watch enthusiasts. Come check out brands such as HZ, Bazel, Second Hour, RZE, and Monbray, and other exciting watches you won't find anywhere else. Watchpoint is also your go-to website for buying said watches, exploring microbrand profiles, discovering new releases, and staying informed with editorials, industry insights, and buying guides. So, if you're keen on trying out your favorite microbrand watches, drop into Shop 304, Level 3, the Block Arcade on Collins Street, or visit watchpoint.com.au or check them out on Instagram at watchpoint.au for more. You've mentioned a few already. You've mentioned a few micro brands. You said Ratcliffe. You said Studio Underdog. You mentioned a couple of indies. You did say MBNF. But aside from those, I mean, give me a couple of your, top micro brands and indies that you're really enjoying right now.
Okay, so I can pretty much touch base on the brands that I have in my collection now,
Yeah.
considered to be indies or micros. Not all, of course, but I'll tell you the special ones.
Yeah.
Starting with, I don't know if you know Kodoke. So,
Yes, I have heard of them.
Kodok. So I have Kodoke Kodoctopus, which is even custom made. So I changed a couple of things in the head. That's another plus point for the indies. They can listen to you and they can change things.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite pieces. It was pretty much expensive for me at the time I bought it.
Mm.
A lot of people told me, okay, that's so stupid, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
if you wanted to sell it, it's gonna be half the price.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it didn't go to half price, but that was one of my biggest purchases in indies.
Very
Um,
cool.
yes, I love it. I have a lot of micro brands. So this is my the closest indie to my heart that I own.
Yeah.
I have a lot of micro brands, to be honest. I think I have more than 400 now pieces.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So actually this studio, the one that you see, it's just for watches. So
Yeah. That's
we don't live
incredible.
here.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
shoot watches here, I keep the watches here, but yeah. But I think a lot of the brands are doing great, you know.
Yeah.
I like pretty much Radcliffe, to be honest.
Yep.
Couple of pieces are extremely close to my heart. I like the brands that I'm ambassador for, to be
Yes.
honest, not because I'm ambassador, but because they do crazy, genuine things,
Yeah.
which is I don't know if I can mention it or not, but it's
Oh,
like
go
I
for
mean
it. Yeah.
it's
Tell me.
it's announced on the page anyway.
Yeah.
Out of Order and Naga. I don't know if you know Naga, but this brand is I know I think you know Out of Order. They are pretty well known, but
Italian, right? Yeah.
Naga is a brand which is just started like 1 year ago.
Mm.
And they started with something that you would take it for granted that it's gonna be boring and a copycat, which is an integrated bracelet watch. But it's not. The watch is extremely unique. And
Yeah.
that was what I found extremely hard, you know, to do something which is pretty much mainstream now and everybody's trying to do, but you do it in your own way. So the integrated the Naga is I think it's a method like an Indian methodology of a half human,
Snake.
half
Yeah. It's like a
snake.
snake. Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Mm.
So you would find that the dial is mimicking snake skin and the bracelet is genius. So that brand now is one of my most worn
Yeah.
watches, to be honest, because I genuinely find it pretty much interesting.
Yeah. That's very,
Um,
very cool.
You have a lot of micro brands in general rising from Italy doing great.
Yeah. I
You
was just about to
have
say they're both Italian micro brands, Out of Order and Naga,
yeah
right? Yeah.
yeah, and you have Venezianico, which is huge
Yeah.
now. It's one of the biggest. I think they are issuing a model every 1 week or something. Like they have a huge portfolio.
Yeah.
But you can see that the scene of Italian micro brands it's getting monstrous. You know? Like it
Mm.
is getting pretty much. But I'll close maybe with my favorite, and so it's not an indie yet. I'm gonna come to the indies, but my favorite micro brand, I think it's not micro anymore. It's between my favorite ever micro brand or in slash indie, who knows, is
Yeah.
Ferrer.
Love Farah. Oh yeah.
Ferrer is one of the brands that are doing every single thing right. So the quality is unbelievable. The color palettes, they are
Mm.
masters in choosing color matches. They are unbelievable. I have one Fairer, only one Fairer, which is the word timer. But I love it. You know, the watch is just unbelievable. But these are on the micro, like the lower range of
Mm.
micros that I like. My end game in watches is gonna be an indie. I don't know if you know of the brand, but it's Ferdinand Berthoud.
I think I saw you shared
I
something.
share it every Friday. So this watch is just like unbelievable, you know. It is extremely expensive, but I would give any watch that I own or any watch that I would own just to have it.
Yeah.
It has an extremely amazing double barrel movement. The complication is dead second. It's just perfect, you know. It's semi-skeletonized on the dial, fully skeletonized. I mean, for exhibition case back.
This
It's
is
just perfect.
the SP3. Is that 3S? 3 SPC. Is that what we're looking at? The
Yes, I think so,
yes,
yes.
yeah, yeah. That's the one that you've shared. Yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. Oof. Well, yeah. I'm going to be putting
That,
this in the show notes, of course, so you can check out this masterpiece.
but yeah, so the other, this is my end game. The other brands that I like, Moser, I love Moser. I love FP Journe so much. I like FP Journe so much. I find FP Journe to be one of the brands, if not the brand, in terms of craftsmanship. But yeah, so again, me as a content creator will always be focusing on the more affordable
Yeah.
pieces, which are getting crazier and crazier, by the way.
Yep, and yeah, there's like you said, there's so much creativity. They're not bound by the shackles of, having to answer to 4 or 5 different levels of bureaucracy to get just their model approved. They can just go out and do what they want. And I guess it's very similar to independence as well. So it makes sense that you're in that space. Yeah, and it's good for everyone really, just to be able to get something unique and yeah, get into it. So awesome. Thanks for sharing. And definitely I have placed your just written down your top indies and micros in here as well. So listeners, you can go check it out and yeah, see what Ahmed's what he likes. It's all in there. So cool. All right. Well, we talked about some of their brands and you have mentioned here and there about your collection as well. And as we got into it and you talked about your special piece, the Kudoke. Aside from the Kudoke and I guess you got in via Tudor and then you got into Microbrands, everything else. Can you tell me any of your other special pieces?
Yeah, yeah, of course. So I'm a big fan of, and these are gonna be non-indies, to be
Mm,
honest. So I'm a big fan of Gerald Genta. So I have a couple of pieces,
mm,
Gerald Genta.
okay.
One is Retrosecond, one is Jumping Hour.
I love that. Yeah.
I really appreciate Gerald Genta. So I like the watches designs. We have a couple of Rolexes, but on the top of the list is gonna be the Rolex, which nobody really liked for a very long time, which is the Milgauss.
Yeah.
I
I love
love the
that.
Milgauss so much. You
It's a
have no
class.
idea. I love it. It's just a perfect watch for me, at least for me,
Yeah.
I'm not like the rest. I don't like the Pepsi. Maybe the only GMT Master 2 that I like is gonna be the full rose gold root beer. I find it like it's a good watch. But I'm not really into the Submariners, even the ones that you see everybody is liking, wearing, collecting.
Sure.
I only like the black one with no date, for example.
Yeah.
So
The
my
classic. Yeah.
taste, yes, yes, yes. The Cartiers we have, I have the Tank Solar,
Yep.
which was issued a couple of years ago. It's pretty much new. It was the first time they do solar. It's called Solar Beat. And we have the Santos, the black lacquer one. I love the
Nice.
Santos Dumont. I love the Santos Dumont. I don't like the regular Santos. I find the Santos Dumont to be one of the best Cartiers ever.
Yeah, that's sort of
Um,
true to the original, right? I mean, the Santos Dumont is closer to the original than I guess just the
yes.
Santos by itself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Santos was an attempt, I think, to make it more sporty, to be
Mm,
honest. But I don't see it going. I don't see that it went right, to be honest. For some reason, it is too much bulky for the overall aesthetics. But
sure.
and I have till vintage, new old stock watches. Like for example, it took me 4 years to get one Citizen, which was a new old stock. I don't know if you know the Bulldog, right? There is one iteration which is Bulldog Octagonal. It's a very small bulldog. It is an amazing watch. One day when I see you, I'm gonna bring it. So I'm
Sounds
hoping to
good.
see you soon. I keep telling you you have to come to Dubai. So
Oh, one day, one
I
day.
hope to see you, and I'll show you all of these things. But
Sounds good.
yeah, so the thing that we really appreciate all types of watches. It's just the ones that you connect with, either vintage, new, neo vintage, micro,
Yeah.
non-micro, indie, non-indie, all of these things.
Yeah.
So you're gonna find us all over the place.
Yeah, no, that bullhead is really cool. That octagonal bullhead is super awesome. I'm gonna chuck that in.
Very wearable, actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Very
no, that's
wearable.
Very cool. Well, there you go. You like you say, you are a bit all over the place. You've got you got your affordables, you got your independents, you got your micro brands, you got your more traditional brands, and it's fantastic. It's good to see a well-rounded collection. And even though your focus is very much on micro brands, it's good to see that well-rounded collection. Awesome. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question. So you did mention it before, and you mentioned that you're ambassador for out of order watches and Naga watches as well. But there's another one. We started on it. We haven't really gone too much into it, which was what's on your wrist, which is the collaboration with Mechanical Exploration. I think it's pronounced Mexep, but I could be wrong. Could be Mech XP.
I
But
I think the owners of the company themselves, they don't know
no.
how to pronounce it.
You know what's funny? There's another brand that I was speaking to as well, and I think it's Praesidus, because
Yeah,
and I said to them, "How do I actually say your brand name? Do I is it Praesidus or Presadius or?" And then because he's French, and he said, he said it in a French accent. He goes, it makes sense when you say it in French, but when you say it in English, it doesn't
it
really
doesn't.
quite work."
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
So I thought that was good. That was cool to see. So obviously, going back to this, sorry, a little sidebar, but yes, Mexep, super funky, right? I mean, I saw this, and even before you guys had the collaboration, I was, oh, this is a really cool watch. I think one of our local watch content creator, also another Western Australian watching James. He also had one as well, and I saw some stuff from him. And I said, "Oh, this is really cool." But then you guys made it even cooler by collaborating and making your own, and obviously with the Eastern Arabic, I mean, with Arabic numerals, and it was super cool, super cool. So how did it come? Like, how did it you know you guys started off as making content and then now you're making watches with brands. I mean, that's incredible. How do you get into it?
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting, Praka, because as I told you, everything evolves, right? So we started from shooting watches and then collaborating with watches, even doing professional advertisement for brands that we do not like
Mm,
share on our page. It's their content. Then the podcast, then we started doing event coverage. So I every year I go to Watches and Wonders, Geneva Watch Days. This year I'm gonna be in Italy as well for the event in May.
mm,
Dubai Watch Week, all of this we do coverage for. And even we have done one event or we covered one event in Dubai. You can check out the reels. You're gonna find it pretty much interesting. Interviews with brand owners. But it evolved, right? There was two stages that I wanted to reach. One is starting to do some kind of collaboration. And keep in mind, since I don't know, 2 years ago, a lot of brands, they came to us, and since they wanna, I mean, brands wanna sell, right?
yeah,
So if there is a probability that they can do a piece with you, 20 pieces up to whatever pieces, and it's gonna sell, it's a good opportunity for them.
sure.
But my only issue on this was I didn't feel that any of the opportunities were right for us. So what happened a year ago and even before mechanical exploration with one brand, I started designing, but actually we are modifying a movement. So I had a concept on mind. I reached out to one brand
Mm.
and we invested around 20, $30,000. It's still in progress actually.
Oh, cool.
And that was gonna be my first collaboration when it finishes. Some Yota movement gonna have a modified module and it's gonna be a different watch, but
Mm.
from scratch. And till this materializes, I was not planning on collaborating at all with any brand. But as you know, sometimes we receive watches, we shoot, and we do all of these
Yeah.
things. I received the mechanical exploration, the original version, and when I unboxed it and I put it on my wrist, I was like, "What the hell? How come this
Yeah.
piece is so well done and so perfect?" So for those who are listening to us, the piece is neither quartz nor mechanical. It is actually powered by lithium battery. So it is mechanical display, but it is powered by a lithium battery. You charge it for 15, 20 minutes and it remains for 45 days. And it reminded me of the Devon. I don't know if you know the Devon, the
Yes.
watch
Yep.
with belts. It's the
Yep.
same concept. It's extremely crazy mechanical watch with the noise and all of these things. At the same time, you charge it. But I think it's in the name it's in the price range of 16,000 or something, $16,000. So it's pretty expensive. It's a luxury watch.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I had the same feeling, you know. And I felt that, okay, if we changed what we want to change, and if I've done a Middle East kind of design
Mm.
to have a steampunk Arabic numerals, the colors of our, actually the colors are from the blue in our brand. So we
I
have
know.
two
I
colors.
noticed. I
Yeah.
noticed. Yeah, it's
Yes.
your logo colors. Because initially I was like, where are these colors from? Because yeah, they're beautiful. It's a nice blue.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But the thing is that we wanted to do something Middle Eastern steampunk. At the same time, we wanted to solve the things that usually being done in the Middle Eastern versions,
Mm.
which is doing it half right. So you would see and I give you an example. You would see a collaboration between Fairer, well, not a collaboration, it was a limited edition for the Middle East that Fairer has done.
Mm.
Fairer, it's a great brand.
Mm.
But you would find that the bezel is in English, the main indices are in Arabic.
Yeah.
It's not really done right.
Mm.
So what we wanted to do, we actually done 50 pieces
Yeah.
in this run, and that it is the only run. We're not gonna do this again. But even the engraving on the case back is in Arabic. The serial number is in Arabic. The stamp on the leather strap is in Arabic. Every single thing is in Eastern Arabic,
Yeah.
or Indian. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because yeah, people would mix it, but
Yeah.
so it is the Eastern Arabic or the Indian numerals.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I was scared. It is my first collaboration,
Yeah.
and it is the actual time in which you see how, I'm not gonna say influential, but how, to what extent you can stretch your abilities and the
Yeah.
things you can do. And at the very beginning, we were like, okay, 50 pieces is gonna be the minimum in order for us not to put money from our own pocket, because you're gonna do 50 new cases.
Yeah.
Dimensions are smaller as well. We wanted the dimensions to be smaller.
Okay.
And then we launched it, and I think we sold out in 9 minutes, 50 pieces.
Yeah.
Which was, I was like, no way, I mean, I was sitting there. I actually checked after 1.5 hours. This is why when I announced, I mentioned that we sold under 90 minutes. But in real life, when I got in touch with the company, they told us like in 9 minutes it was gone. So yeah, in a nutshell, we wanted to do something different, to bring something different, to add value, because if we were gonna do just another piece with some Arabic touch, it wasn't gonna work for me. I really need to do and offer something new, introduce something new. And I think that was the main essence of this piece being successful,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm looking at, obviously, listeners, I'm going to plonk the link in the show notes. Unfortunately, it is sold out. Maybe we can, someone please message Ahmed after and ask him to, make some more pieces. But, but seriously, there's, you're right. It's not a half-assed attempt at, like you said, just putting in Arabic elements and going, oh, here it is. There's every bit of it, like you said, there's I'm scrolling in, I'm looking at all the numbers, the engraving, the case back as well, and yeah, just everything is fully involved, even the buckle is got
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah, so, and that's incredible to see. And it's also something that I didn't know, which was you actually custom made the case as well. It's a smaller case than the original, which is great. It's great to see that it's a 48 mil lug to lug, which is perfect, and 38 wide. So I mean, in that square sort of dimensions, is it's really
It
rectangular
actually
dimensions.
became it actually became very wearable. You can see in the photos,
Mm.
it's even on Monda's wrist,
Yep.
looking pretty much good. And to be honest, I would give huge credit to the company themselves.
Mm.
So mechanical exploration, shout out to Jason and Jason Jr. because he's a
Yeah.
watchmaker, and his son, they were pretty much responsive, right?
Yes.
They were pretty much understanding, because usually when you tell someone I'm gonna change everything and do it from scratch, they're gonna tell you, but okay, we have these things in stock,
Yeah.
it's gonna cost us more. we're gonna lose money, you know.
Yeah.
So they were very responsive, and a huge portion of the credit goes to them.
Yeah, and you're right. And there's just so much in here that yeah, it's not only the design, like you said itself. It's the mechanism as well, right? It's not their quartz. It's not a thing. It's unique, and obviously, like you said, Devon. I don't know how to say the brand name properly, but they're more of your higher end stuff, but this is bringing that into the more, like you said, into the micro range and allowing the micro brands to have people can enjoy something different as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. No, that's such a cool story. I will leave the link to show notes so people can check it out and yeah, maybe like I said, we can pressure you to get another one going. So speaking of getting another one going, of course, I'm gonna have to ask you about your future plans before wrapping up, future collaborations. You mentioned just then that you're working on something very special, which is a modified movement, your own something very special. I'm assuming it's going to be something really funky and out there as well. Can you give me a bit more, or maybe you can give me some insights into future collaborations?
Yeah, so I can pretty much split the future plans. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to achieve it. But I think collaborations and designs, maybe a deeper level, like what we're mentioning, like
Mm,
modifying and doing things from scratch. This is gonna be a main thing as long as we're gonna be offering something new, not only for the Middle East community, but for the watch community in general. Because I think if we don't have anything new to offer, we shouldn't be offering anything, and we should be staying put, enjoying what other people are doing, and that's it.
sure.
So this would depend on a lot of things, creativity level, finding the right partner to do these things with, and who knows, maybe we can have our own brand if we found out that we can offer something. But the second thing that I'm working on as well, because the thing is that we are not all over the place, but we're trying to do multiple things in the watch scene.
Mm,
We're actually us along with, I don't know if you know Micro Indie Collective
mm.
group. So so you know Micro Indie Collective, right?
I've known through you. So,
Yeah, so like us along with Micro Indie Collective, and for those who don't know Micro Indie Collective, it's a group which is consisting of over 180 brand owners and content creators, in addition to collectors. So it is the only community that I find it pretty much comprehensive. They have discussions. They even like take opinions on new models that they're making. People are asking questions. Always debates, always fights, but it's always out of love and passion, to be
mm,
honest. So, Watch Collective 2, along with Micro Indie Collective, we are planning on doing the biggest event for micro brands and independent micro brands mainly, slash affordable independence, if I may say. In the Middle East is going to be in Dubai. So this is taking a lot of time and effort from us to pull it the right way, because we have seen a lot of events. We learned from visiting a lot of events as well. And we see a huge gap. People are asking, either brands or followers or collectors or whatever, they're asking for something like this. Like, so, like for example, spring, sprung, sprung, and wind up. All of these, we lack this in this
mm,
region, to be honest. It's only
sure.
Dubai Watch Week, which is huge.
Mm,
And I think Dubai Watch Week is even, I think Dubai Watch Week is the best event worldwide. It
yeah.
is the only event that you can actually go there and wear any watch you would like to wear.
Mm,
If you went to Watches and Wonders, for the big brands, you have to have an invitation, you have to have an appointment.
yeah.
It's complicated. But Dubai Watch Week, it's something else. It's the best event, to be honest. So yeah, we were trying to do, let's say, the same concept, but for the range of brands that we are interested in and maybe specialized in.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I've seen stuff about Micro Indie Collective or MIC. I didn't realize it went in that deep, to be honest. I didn't realize there was so much in there. And no, it's really, really cool to see. And of course, you're really looking forward to your future collaborations. And I think you really hit the nail on the head. Unless you have something new or something interesting to contribute to the yes, horological scene or the microbrand
Yes.
scene, yeah, why do it? And I think I, I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes I do see some some people in some spaces online, saying, "Yeah, look, I'm gonna start my own micro brand, and this is what I want to do." And I mean, you look at the design, and you're like, "Okay, that looks fine," but it looks like every other watch out there as well. And do we really want to start something if you're not giving something that's? I'm not saying you have to offer something different all the time, but in having a nice cohesive design, but also yeah, I think that's a key word, like a well thought out design. It doesn't have to
Yes.
be new, but it needs to be something that's
Yes.
well thought out. It can't just be like you buy you order 100 pieces from AliExpress and slap a logo on it, and you're done. And a lot of brands do that, unfortunately, but there is brands that do that. They just have the basic design that's already been done, already be cookie cutter, and they just put their name on it and go, "Yep, this is my new brand." And
Yes.
it's just not very exciting.
But if you wanna build a long-term brand, if you wanna stand out,
Mm,
because you see, every 1 hour, maybe one micro brand is coming up, right?
probably, yeah,
One model, two model, maybe 1 year, 2 years, and then they die out. So if you wanna exist and if you wanna have a known brand like Studio Underdog, like
yeah,
the guy is disruptive, right?
mm,
Uh, he has done something different, and you see the guy, wow, he's doing great things. Who would think that this gentleman had a COVID project designing a watch, and
yeah,
he's doing with Fears and Moser now, and it's a great story. I think it's one of the most successful stories in the watch industry, and the one that we should be learning from, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like you said before as well. It's not just the watch itself, right? It's you want to buy into it because you like the guy. You like the story. You like the way they present themselves and how they come across and what their background and everything else. And you go, okay, that's what I like. I mean, I'm just getting into, I'm just talking about different brands. I mean, I look at Direnzo, who's a Swiss
Yeah,
micro brand.
I like the Renzo so much.
Love Dorenzo. I had a Dorenzo even before we reached out to him the podcast to say, hey, come on, like it was because I really enjoyed the mic. I really enjoyed the watch. I really enjoyed the design. I really enjoyed the story. And I went, I'd love to talk to you. And then the more I talked, the more I listened to all the stuff. I'm like, this is awesome. This is exactly what micro brands are about. This is,
Yes.
yeah, the same that having a chat with Sergio was just like, okay, it really solidified that. And I think that's
And
the same
and
with Richard too. Yeah.
so I actually, you mentioned a very, very good brand. The Renzo, it's standing out.
Yeah.
Now when you see it has a DNA, it's very well built. I never owned the Renzo, but I've
Mm,
seen it and I
yeah.
love it. Absolutely love it. The other brand as well, I don't know how do you pronounce it, but Mules.
Mills and Co. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
it's
Yep.
it's beautiful. It's
Mm,
just done right, you
yep.
know. And I mean, if you go back to the reason why these watches, Studio Underdog included, are standing out, it's because it is well designed. So
Mm,
the thing is that you're gonna find a couple of these people are actually design background. So they
yes.
can design something. Not like an enthusiast who started a brand. It's a very long topic, but yeah, I mean, it is an interesting one.
Yeah, no, no, I completely agree. And you know, I'm singled out Dorenzo, yeah, but there's so many brands like that too. And where they put in that hard work, they put in that hard yards to keep
Yes.
improving. I mean, look, I mean, obviously, what I've got on my wrist right now, this Mandala is the Mark III. It is the third iteration of the same watch where they've
Mhm.
continuously improved. I look at Traska, who do the same thing. They
Yeah.
released the Summitier version 5 or something it is now, 4 or 5, and they've continuously improved. They haven't sat back and gone, we sell watches, we do pretty well, but that's it. They want to keep
Yes.
pushing, they want to keep getting better and keep improving their processes and keep improving the quality of product that they're giving to their customers. So I love that, and that's something that you just don't see in the big brands. You just don't see them in. If anything, like you look at your. I'm picking Seiko, for example, the price points, the RRPs going higher and higher, higher, but not necessarily you're
Quality
not
is going
getting.
down now.
Yeah, well, I mean, some stuff, yes, maybe, but or it's just around the same. We're not
Yes.
seeing the continuous improvement in terms of, what you're getting for your money. So, yeah. Anyway,
And maybe one last point on
tell me.
on the Seikos and Citizens of the world. The thing
Mm,
is that if we look at the entry level of Seiko and Citizen,
mm,
it keeps getting worse. Like bracelets are rattly and very
mm.
bad. It keeps getting worse and worse. Last two Seikos I bought, Seiko 5s, the rotor just fell down.
Wow. Okay.
But
Yeah.
and this is another reason because to get into microbrands because with the amount of money that I'm gonna be spending on a piece like this, I'm gonna get double and triple the value in a microbrand, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is another side reason. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that, yeah. I mean, I can't. I guess, fortunately for me, I've not had those issues with my Seikos. I have always, thankfully, have lucked out. And to be honest, I haven't really had that. But yeah, you know what? I think it's sometimes it's the luck of the draw. I mean, you don't have to even go talk about Seikos. Even brands more expensive than that. I've seen the forums. You've seen big Swiss brands that also have all sorts of QC issues. And you go, hang on a minute, you're paying a lot of money for this, and you're not getting the quality that you're expecting, or at least the quality control that you're expecting. But I think that comes with the territory. Yeah, sometimes when you're selling, like you say, when you're selling to enthusiasts who are very particular about things, they're going to pick things up, whereas the general
yes.
public might not. They may never know that their indices are slightly off, or their bezel is slightly not misaligned. They may just never worry about that. So yeah, luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. All right, we went into a complete tangent there. So we're talking about future plans, and we just went all the way to the right. But anyway, I'll bring us right back and say thank you for answering all these questions, and having this fantastic conversation. I am thoroughly enjoying this. And before we wrap this episode up, we always like to do this called the something interesting section, where we basically discuss something interesting that we've seen, we've heard, we've read, or in the last, week, month, whatever you want to talk about. So it doesn't have to be about watches, it can be about anything. So as our guest, Ahmed, please take it away.
Something interesting.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be related to watches.
Anything, whatever you want. Talk. You can talk about a show that you've been watching, that you've been enjoying, and you think, hey, someone else might enjoy. I'll
Speaking
put
of
you on the
question.
spot.
Yeah, yeah, I am on the spot. Give me a moment to
No,
think
no, no.
about
That's
it.
okay. That's okay. All right, all right. How about I'll start. I'll start it off then. So I have recently seen the. I've been looking recently into. I cheated, so I said, it can be about anything, not just about watches. But I'm going to tell you something about watches. So sorry about that. But recently I've been looking at brands out of India, which is, I think, a market that you don't hear a lot about in the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's huge in manufacturing, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, massive. And there's a lot of micro brands popping up there as well. There's one or two that come up the top of my head, like Bangalore Watch Co, which I think they do some
Titan,
really good stuff.
yes.
Titan, yeah, Titans. I guess they've been a really long established brand, but there's all these little micro brands popping up here and there. And just like I guess, in the Middle East, where you're seeing the Arabic dials, you're seeing the Devanagari script, which
Yeah,
is the Indian
yeah,
script. And then, and what I recently saw, which is again not something that you see often, is the regional dialect scripts as well. So not just Devanagari, but you've got from the different regions, the different scripts. So anyway, I saw that and I went, that is so cool. That's not something that you see often. That it's a completely different, and this is a South Indian language as well, Tamil, that's written on there. Which again, I thought that was super cool. I mean, the watch itself looks very plain, very simple, but I think it's a good start. It's a good start to dabble into the different,
yes.
the widely different things. And who knows, maybe the quality will come up try and match the designs and the I guess the
Uh,
inspirations that they're going for. So yeah, I
may-
will find the link somewhere where I found it. What they call MWC, I think that's what they're called, and I'll chuck it in there. So yeah, something a bit different.
maybe the interesting thing that I should be telling you about that we usually do regular like close collectors gathering.
Okay.
You come with a couple of pieces, we go there, have a drink or something, and then we talk, and then we go home. Last week, actually, funny enough, I saw and put on my wrist one watch that I didn't see before. I didn't think I was gonna be seeing it that close and very randomly. It's not in a show. It's not it's just on person's wrist, and
Okay.
it's actually the FP Joule vertical tourbillon. If you remember, couple of months ago, it was sold at an auction for, I think, more than 2 million. One of the early iterations. So one of the early versions of it, not this one. This one is, but I couldn't believe myself, because it was really random, and I was going with watches that pretty much average, exciting and interesting,
Sure.
but pretty much average. And I ended up like having this watch on my wrist for the rest of the day. I was cautious because if I scratched or
Yeah.
anything, I'm gonna have to trade it with a kidney. I don't want to do
Yes.
this, but yeah, that's the most exciting thing happening to me in the past week.
That's awesome. That's what so I gotta write down what that was actually called. The FB John. I don't yeah, you're gonna have to send me a link for it after.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but very cool on a collector's wrist. Yeah, we have some, collector sort of meetups and stuff here as well. We got our local Red Bar, which is I guess a chapter that's all around the world, and we've got other ones as well. And also recently, or at least for the last week, we've been doing a little overtime FNF catch
Nice.
up as well, which is pretty cool. It's slowly growing, of course, but it's always nice to catch up with the overtime FNF as well. So yeah, awesome. All right, well, look, that's it. We've come to the end. Ahmed, thank you so much. Like it's been
Actually,
yeah, such a great conversation. Easy, easy. It was like I could probably keep chatting with you for another hour, and we've got plenty to talk about. But yeah, I really appreciate your time.
yeah, actually, thank you so much, Braka, for the opportunity and the honor to have me on your show. I really enjoy it, to be honest. I always listen to it. It's gonna be awkward listening to my voice being interviewed, but yeah, I think I'll survive.
Yeah,
And yeah, again, thank you so much, and hope to do it again. It was pretty
definitely.
much enjoyable.
Definitely, no, definitely. You're always welcome to come back on when, like I said, there's always something new to talk about. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, look, if there's nothing else. We'll leave it there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Overtime the Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on our Instagram at Overtime the Podcast, at Kinda Average Watches, or flick me an email on overtimethepod@gmail.com. I appreciate your support and value your feedback. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics that you would like the podcast to cover in the future, please hit us up. Until next time.